Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Invasion. Right then, we are kicking off tonight's show with the All-Asian Championship. The current champion, the Giant Baba, will be defending that belt against both the Ultimo Dragon and the Great Muta. Ultimo Dragon gets his opportunity because he defeated Taka Michinoku and Tajiri in a triple threat, and the Great Muta defeated Hakushi and Hayabusa to qualify for this match as well. And this is an amazing match. If I had to put together an All-Asian Championship match on paper for this pay-per-view, this is exactly what I would have picked. So I'm very, very happy it's ended up this way. Let's have a look at the ranking system. Then Giant Baba is currently on +8 after 10 matches. He's doing very, very well, of course, as the current All-Asian champion. We have got the Great Muta, who sits in 29th position on +12 from 21 matches. And then we have the original belt collector himself, Ultimo Dragon. He's on +2 after 9 matches. Not as many matches so far, but I think we need to use more of him. He's a fantastic competitor. I think the core this year is really good as well, so I do want to get some more use out of him where we can. And of course, it's standard triple threat rules apply, so first pinfall or submission inside the ring will be the winner, will get themselves 3 points in the ranking system, 1 point for the win and 2 points for defeating multiple opponents at once, and also walk away with the SWA All-Asian Championship. Giant Baba is currently the 6th ever champion, but neither the Great Muta or Ultimo Dragon have ever held the belt before. Previous lineage for the All-Asian Championship started off with Go Shiozaki, then Hiroshi Tanahashi, Antonio Inoki, Mitsuharu Misawa, the Great Khali, and Giant Baba. Probably one of the best title lineages we have in the entirety of the company, to be honest. I've never thought I'd ever see Ultimo Dragon hit a dab, but that's just what happened there. Giant Baba now dropping the knee into the face of the Great Muta. So this is the first of 6 title matches here this evening. Up next, we will have the YouTube Tag Team Championships. Rated RKO, the current YouTube Tag Team Champions, will defend in a fatal 4-way tag team elimination match against the Hardy Boyz, the Eliminators, and the Road Warriors. We'll have Azure Kong versus Bull Nakano versus Jazz. Not only is that for the Women's Hardcore Championship, it's also the final match in our ongoing tournament, and quite potentially the decider for the entire competition. At the moment, it is 17 wins for WCW, 16 for ECW, 13 for WWF. If ECW and Jazz win that match, it will be 17 wins each, and it will come down to our Showcase War Games match later on this evening. If Jazz does not win that match, then WCW will be crowned the winners of the Invasion tournament. Also, Leo Rush will defend his Cruiserweight Championship one-on-one against Juventud Guerrera. John Moxley will defend the Underground Championship one-on-one against Tank Abbott. We will see that WCW versus ECW War Games match. Again, that might just be a showcase, or it might be to decide who wins the entire competition. It all depends on the Women's Hardcore Championship match. And of course, our main event of the evening, will Ospreay defending the Intercontinental Championship against both Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. So lots and lots and lots of stuff going on here tonight. And of course, this is a huge one. I mean, all 3 of these guys are people that... I mean, I keep saying this a lot, don't I? There's a lot of people I want to see more and more and more of. And it's up to me because we're the ones booking it. So, I can't blame anyone else for not booking these guys. Like I said earlier on today, I was surprised that Sid Vicious only ever had 4 matches. It shocked me. I mean, Rikishi's had like 2 or 3 as well. We hadn't used the Midnight Express since 2022. These are people we should be booking more often. Muta now swinging the kendo stick. Ultimo Dragon avoids it right across the gut of Muta. Of course, don't forget triple threat rules apply, so it is no disqualifications. Running big boot there by Baba. In with a pin on Ultimo. Of course, that is one of his signature maneuvers, that big boot. It was not enough to pick up the victory on this occasion, though. The Muta was out the outside. I don't know if he would have got back in time. I tell you what, though, Muta now with the Shining Wizard taking down Baba. Ultimo Dragon's been flattened, and a kendo stick snapped over his head. This could be the chance for Muta to walk away as the All-Asian champion. No, it's only a 2. Got Ultimo now with a slap in the face, now taking Muta up into the sit-out powerbomb position. Baba running clothesline. That is one of his finishing maneuvers, taking down Ultimo Dragon. We could see a very quick championship defense here. No, it's still only a 2. Baba now dropping a knee into the spine of Muta. Folds him over for the pin. Baba's really going for it here. He's gone for quite a few pinfall attempts just in the last 30 seconds alone. Wasn't able to get one finished off, though. But we've seen some very high-impact maneuvers. Ultimo Dragon there with a sliced bread. Hooks the legs, but Muta is there to break it up instantly. I'll be honest, I'm going to be glad to see the back of triple threats after a couple of weeks. I must admit, triple threat matches, they've been fun. I've quite enjoyed this tournament, to be honest. We've seen a lot of very interesting people we maybe hadn't seen for quite some time or ever at all. So it's been a very fun couple of weeks, but I am looking forward to just going back to normal matches, I must admit. And of course, as I said, our next competition will be a week of NXT TNA Showdown. We'll have NXT versus TNA, guys. We've got some pretty good matches lined up for you. Myself, MZK Punk's been writing quite a few for us as well. So we've got some very interesting stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks. Nice German suplex there by Ultimo Dragon. And Baba with a steel chair right across the spine of Ultimo. Muta with the uppercut, catching Baba. There's the boot in the gut. Now taking Baba up, looking for the pile driver. Baba fought back, sending Muta crashing over the top. Knee in the face by Baba on Ultimo Dragon. And Baba re-entering the ring. Obviously, both these guys know that they can only win this match inside the ring. Muta now, the big chop right across the head. There's the pin. I think Ultimo Dragon is back up on his feet. He is going to get there to break it up just in time. Lovely tornado all the way around he goes, taking down Muta. Muta catching Baba with the bulldog. Ultimo slowly back up to his feet. Ultimo sending Baba crashing into the barricade. Now taking the top off the announce table. Not really well known for this, to be honest. And he decides against it. Muta catches Ultimo Dragon here with a Shining Wizard. Middle of the ring. Rolls him up for the pin, but Baba's going to be there to break it up. But the damage has been done to Ultimo Dragon. If Baba can take advantage here of Muta, it might be an opportunity to get the victory and retain the championship, dropping Muta headfirst over the top rope. Now going after Ultimo Dragon, who's already been hit by a big maneuver. Dragon using his agility to slide out the back. Nice elbow there in the face. Muta now spinning Ultimo Dragon around. Up he goes onto the shoulder. Slides at the back into that reverse DDT. Baba now dropping the knee drop right into the face of Muta. He has a hold of the steel chair right between the eyes, taking down Ultimo Dragon. If he's smart, Baba, he gets back in the ring. He leaves Ultimo on the outside, and he goes back after Muta inside the ring. But Baba seems to be stuck in some sort of endless loop at the moment. He is fixed now, okay. Just as I was saying, he's in a loop. He manages to fix himself. Weapons now are plenty. Muta swinging the kendo stick on the outside, levering everyone. Baba, big shoulder block, taking him down. Baba and Muta now both re-entering the ring. Muta now with a DDT on Baba. Ultimo Dragon nowhere to be seen. This is an opportunity for Muta if he can get some high impact on Baba. If he can hit a Shining Wizard, he's going for the strikes. Boot in the gut in with the DDT, but Ultimo Dragon is now back up on his feet. Both of them are willing Baba back up to his feet. There's the Shining Wizard. Ultimo Dragon. Oh, Muta sent Ultimo Dragon crashing to the outside. This is the opportunity. He's hit the Shining Wizard. Great Muta. Can he gain the championship? It's only a 2. Bloody hell, that was close. That was close, that one, I tell you. Wow, okay. Baba now, big knee in the face, dropping. Muta flattens Ultimo Dragon, locks in the cross armbar. Baba going to try and get himself the submission victory, but Muta able to roll it free. Running in with a clothesline. Ultimo Dragon now sending Muta in. Going to run to the far side. Is he going to run and jump over Baba, then hit Muta? He goes around Baba, then in with a monkey flip onto Baba. Ultimo Dragon now with the opportunity to go after... Oh my god. Ultimo Dragon sits out powerbomb on Giant Baba. Muta is out cold. This could be the chance. Brand new SWE All-Asian Champion, the belt collector himself, Ultimo Dragon, becomes the SWE All-Asian Champion. What a victory that is. And already one match into the night, we have a brand new champion crowned. Wow. I'm happy. I mean, I was going to be happy no matter what happened in this match, to be honest. Everybody is a very, very legit champion. One at Invasion 2025 versus Baba and Muta. There we go. Update that. Into the ranking system then, we have got Baba, who is now going to drop down to a +7 after 11 matches. We have got the great Muta, who's going to be dropping down to a +11 after 22 matches. But it's Ultimo Dragon, who's won 2 triple threats this week now. So when this began, he was a -1 when this began. And now with these 2 triple threat victories, he has got himself up to a +5. He's +6 for the year, +5 overall. That's a massive swing for Ultimo Dragon. And of course, he was always known as the belt collector. Maybe Ultimo Dragon would love to get himself an opportunity to force his way into the Cruiserweight Championship picture as well. But there we go, 1 match down and a brand new champion crowned already. It's Ultimo Dragon. Look at that. Gets a hold of the belt. He becomes our 7th ever SWA All-Asian Champion. And his first piece of gold held in SWE. Well done, Ultimo Dragon. He's milking this, isn't he? Get as much TV time as possible. And here we go then, YouTube Tag Team Championships are on the line. The current champions, Rated RKO, will be defending against the Eliminators from ECW, the Road Warriors for WCW, and the Hardy Boys for WWF. Of course, you guys voted on these in the polls throughout the week, and now it is time to come. Rated RKO have held these belts for quite some time. They've defended them successfully quite a few times so far this year. But this might be one step too far because this is a very, very big match. And of course, this is Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag Team rules. So both members of the team have to be pinned or submitted to be fully eliminated. But of course, you can be the first person eliminated and still go on to win if your tag team partner can go the distance. In terms of the ranking points, we will give 4 points to the winning team. 1 point for winning the match, then 3 bonus points for defeating multiple opponents at once. And of course, the 3 losing teams will lose a point in the tag team rankings. And again, in the singles division, the winning team will receive 1 point each, and the 6 members of the losing teams will lose a point. Also, this is no disqualification, no count-outs, and of course, pinfalls and submissions count anywhere to make things a bit easier for us. So yeah, you guys voted on this on the poll. What were the polls across the week? So we had, for WWF, we had the Hardy Boys, the New Age Outlaws, the Nation of Domination, the Wild Samoans, and you guys voted overwhelmingly for the Hardys. For WCW, we had the Midnight Express, the Legion of Doom, Totally Buffed, and the Natural Born Thrillers. You guys voted mainly for the Legion of Doom. However, the Natural Born Thrillers, the team of Shawn and Chuck Colombo, did get quite a few decent points. And in ECW, I lost my voice then. In ECW, you guys voted between the Full-Blooded Italians, the Pitbulls, the Eliminators, and the Gangsters. It was the Eliminators that did get the nod here today. However, the Full-Blooded Italians, Little Guido and Tony Marmaluke, also got quite a few votes. So for the Eliminators, you'll see them there in the silver and purple attire. You've got Perry Saturn, who's the bald one, and Cronus is the one with the mullet. Of course, you know the Hardys. Everyone knows the Hardys, don't they? Animal and Hawk are the Road Warriors. Hawk is the one with the... What is that haircut even called? Isn't it called like a skullet? It's a reverse mullet. It's a skullet, I think it's called. And then, of course, Edge and Randy Orton, the current champions, rated RKO. Like I said, have defended the belt several times now this year and have done very well and boosted up their tag team rankings because of it. They're now up to, where are they? They're 10th in the ranking system now with 4 victories this year. And all 4 of those victories are successful retains of the YouTube Tag Team Championships. So yeah, it should be interesting. Like I said, it is both members of the team have to be eliminated to be fully gone from this match. So at the moment, if you're eliminated first, your team is pretty much going to struggle. It's not impossible, but the numbers game can really catch up. You've got no one to protect you, you've got no one to help you. The best thing you can do is try and align yourself with another team to try and put the other people out. Or if your teammate gets eliminated, just hang out, just disappear, just go and hide, slide in the ring, do whatever you need to do until the numbers start to come a bit more into your favour. We've done quite a few triple threat tag team matches the last couple of weeks, and we have seen just how difficult it is to win when your tag team partner has been eliminated. I think the majority of the matches we've had has ended up with one team fully intact and the other 4 gone. As Edge now taking Cronus up onto the announce table. Didn't do much with it though. Perry Saturn with the suplex, dropping into the pin here on Animal, one half of the Road Warriors. Only a 2 count. Belly to belly slam on the outside by Hawk on, I believe that was Edge. And of course there's the second of 6 championship matches tonight. And to be honest, I mean the odds are against the champions here, aren't they? The odds are definitely against the champions. It's not going to be easy to win this against 3 of the top tag teams of all time, in fairness. I mean the Road Warriors everyone knows about, very legendary tag team, the Hardy Boys as well. The Eliminators, one of those teams that was so good, but many people don't really, unless you're watching ECW that sort of time, it's not a team you hear of anymore. I mean, you hear about people talking about the Hardys, you hear people talking about the Road Warriors, but I would guess that people never talk about Eliminators. And it's a shame because they were such a good tag team. That light tube smashed across the back of Perry Saturn as Jeff Hardy sends him face first into the barricade. Jeff now taking up Hawk, who landed on his head as Edge attacked him. Cronus now diving to the outside, double axe handle, taking down both members of the Hardys. There's the pin, but I think Jeff is going to be there to break it up pretty quickly. Jeff now with the strikes in the gut, and then Ian with a standing Spanish fly on Cronus. Lovely suplex by Perry Saturn on Hawk. There's so much action going on, it's difficult for me to keep up with it, as you can probably tell. I mean, I struggle with it. It's a singles match in fairness, but... Edge now taking up Saturn, dropping him face first. Animal just running straight into Matt Hardy, flattening him. Of course, Matt and Jeff Hardy, up until last week, were the current SWE Tag Team Champions, but they lost those belts to the Dudleys last weekend at the other Invasion pay-per-view. So they got a chance to pick up more belts straight away. Of course, that match last week was the Hardys versus the Dudleys versus the Outsiders. And it was one of those big wins that ECW got the victory in. And of course, ECW are still in with a chance of winning this competition. They need to win that triple threat match, which will be up next between, of course, the current champion, Aja Kong, Bull Nakano representing WCW, and Jazz for ECW. If Jazz can win that one, it's all going to go down to our War Games match later on this evening. Team WCW versus Team ECW. I can give you the teams for that match. For WCW, it will be Goldberg, Booker T, Ric Flair, and Sting. For ECW, it's the Sandman, Sabu, Rob Van Dam, and Taz. Nice power slam there by Animal. A pin now by Edge on Hawk. Referee's going to be very slow to get there. Does start the count. And it's only a 2 count as Animal now with a powerbomb inside the ring on Matt Hardy. Referee again very, very slow to get into position. But it might still be enough. No, only a 1 count. That first elimination is so important, you know. So important. It can build momentum for one of the teams, but it also completely ruins the other. Who would ever thought we'd see Perry Saturn and Randy Orton in the ring together? And look at that super kick by Perry Saturn taking Randy down. Going to bring him back up now to a standing base. One of the finisher maneuver of the Eliminators was amazing. It was called Total Elimination. One of the guys went for a low sweep, the other one for a high kick, and it worked together so well. I mean, I'm probably not explaining it very well, but if you have a chance to look it up and look up the Eliminators and just see how good of a team they actually were. Nice boot right in the face there by Randy Orton, taking down Animal. Orton now gets taken down. And Perry Saturn jumping on top of Animal. An opportunity here for the elimination. Nope, only a 1 count. As Cronus now looking to try and eliminate Matt Hardy. Again, the referee very, very slow to get in position. And it was only a 1 count. No eliminations as of yet, but there is the rings of Saturn locked in by Perry Saturn. For some reason, Randy Orton's broke it up. No idea why he's done that for. Perry Saturn, lovely suplex. Again, Perry Saturn, I think I mentioned this last week. I think he's very underrated. I think, obviously, everyone knows about the Radicals, the team that jumped from WCW to WWF as part of the Monday Night Wars. And because you had Eddie Guerrero, you had Dean Malenko, you had Chris Benoit, I think Perry Saturn very much sort of fell into the background of those. Whereas he actually was a very, very accomplished wrestler himself. Pinned by Randy Orton now on Hawk. Only a 2 count. Still no eliminations as of yet, but once they start coming, they start coming. And it's going to be, it's John Cronus has gone. 1/2 of the Eliminators has been eliminated. That's sad. I want to see the Eliminators do well, to be honest, but there you go. Randy Orton now stamping on the back of the knee of Hawk. Now going after Animal. So it's not over for the Eliminators. It's going to be very, very difficult now, though. With only 1 member left of the team, it's going to be very, very hard. But it's not impossible. Perry Saturn's now has got to change his game plan. He's not in it to win at this point in time. He's in it to survive. He just needs to survive until the end, and then he can push to win. He's got to play defensively now rather than attacking as Randy goes in for the pin on Hawk. And it's only a 2 count, but I think that's only because Animal got there to break it up. Animal now dumping Randy Orton to the outside. There's a strike in the face. I think Animal caught the referee at the same time, bringing Randy back into the ring and clubbing him down back of the head first. Animal now with the trash can. Again, the Hardy Boys versus the Road Warriors is not something I had put in my my bingo ticket for this year, I must admit. Strike in the face there by Animal. Has Hardy by the back of the head. Slammed right across the chest. Of course, both Road Warriors are absolute brutes. Their striking ability, and it's just seconds. And then there's an RKO out of nowhere, though, by Randy on Hawk. There's the pin. Animal's not noticed. This could be the end of Hawk. It is. 1 member of the Road Warriors is gone. Running powerbomb by Animal on Jeff Hardy. And it's could be the same situation. No, it is not. Okay. We will see the Hardys next week as well, by the way. They will be involved in a match tomorrow for our NXT TNA Showdown. They'll be facing off. We're doing all of tomorrow is NXT versus TNA Champions. So tomorrow we will see the Hardys going up against Dark State. So that means tomorrow's matches are Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams. That's the NXT versus TNA champion. We've got JC Jane versus Kalani Jordan for the women's champion versus the women's champion. Dark State versus the Hardys, NXT tags versus TNA tags. We've got El Grande Americano versus Leon Slater, the WWE Speed champion versus the X Division champion. And then we'll have Ethan Page versus Kazarian, the North American champion versus the international champion. Pin now then by Matt Hardy on Randy Orton. Edge is there to break it up. So at the moment we have both members of the champions still in the match, both Edge and Randy. We've got both members of the Hardys, but we only have one Road Warrior and one Eliminator left. I'll tell you what, the knee bar locked in here by Perry Saturn on Jeff Hardy. Could be the end of Jeff. No, Jeff is able to break free. The strike in the face there by Jeff on Perry Saturn. And then out of nowhere, Jeff with a twist of fate. That could be the end of the Eliminators. No, he doesn't go for the pin. Wow. Instead of going for the pin, he goes to try and help his teammate out, Matt Hardy, who had taken some damage there. And I'll tell you, if either one of the Hardys or one of Rated RKO are eliminated next, it could really give us a big indication of who's going to win. As soon as that numbers game is there, it doesn't make it impossible, but it makes it much hazier. There's the twist of fate once again by Jeff Hardy, this man Animal, but again doesn't go for the pin. Is Jeff high again? Why is he not going for these pinfalls? Look at Jeff absolutely flattening whoever that was. I think it was Edge he flattened there. Sending Perry Saturn into the apron now as well. There's Edge with a strike on Matt Hardy. Edge and Matt Hardy are notoriously not the biggest fans of each other. We are, obviously, I've discussed a pay-per-view at one point where we're going to put people up against each other who hate each other in real life, and apparently Edge and Matt Hardy are two of those guys. Jeff now sending Perry Saturn crashing to Matt. Apparently, well, as I say, apparently Jeff Hardy and CM Punk aren't the biggest friends in real life, but I mean, if we're going to have people who hate each other, it's going to be one hell of a list to decide who faces off against CM Punk, isn't it, really? Twist of fate by Matt Hardy. This could be... Oh, Jeff! Jeff is high. He's got to be. He's messing this up for everybody. Jeff Hardy, I think, has just saved Edge in this one, blocking off the referee so he couldn't get there. Animal now with Jeff Hardy on the shoulders. There's the shoulder breaker. Perry Saturn and Matt Hardy into the Death Valley driver. And that is Jeff Hardy gone. Okay. Rated RKO, the champions now do have the numbers advantage then. We've got both members of Rated RKO in the match. Only one Eliminator, one Hardy, and one Road Warrior left. As Edge with a pin now on Matt Hardy. It's not enough. So I'll tell you what, if either Randy Orton or Edge is eliminated next, then all of a sudden, this match is completely open. It will go down to just a single fatal four match to see who gets the win. Nice shoulder block takedown there by Animal, flattening Perry Saturn, who's been on his own for the longest in this match. And what needs to happen now is Animal, Saturn and Matt Hardy need to work together to take out either Edge or Randy Orton to make that numbers advantage disappear. Randy Orton just flattens Animal, and this could be the end of the Road Warriors. There's a spear. This could be the end of the Eliminators. Animal does survive. Perry Saturn does not. The Eliminators are gone from the match. That's a shame. The Eliminators are gone. They move down to a -1 after 5 matches. -2 for the year. They've had 2 matches this year, lost them both, granted. One was a triple threat and one was a fatal 4-way, as Randy Orton just about survives. But now it's imperative that Animal, Matt Hardy work together to eliminate one of the Rated RKO members. It is imperative. Perry Saturn then with that tag team loss moves down to a +3 after 8 matches. And John Cronus with that tag team loss moves down to a -1 after 5. And I say, if you're Edge and Randy Orton, you want to get rid of one of your 2 opponents, work together to eliminate them. And if you're Matt Hardy and Animal, you need to work together to eliminate one half of Rated RKO. Because if Rated RKO can get you into 2-on-1 position, then it is done and dusted. We're guaranteed to remain champions, surely. Edge now re-entering the ring. Randy with a pin on Animal. Matt needs to get across and break it. Matt is far too slow, but it doesn't matter because Animal was able to kick out. Randy Orton out of nowhere. RKO. There's the pin for the 1, for the 2, and the 3. The Hardy Boys are gone. It's looking like we're gonna have a very bad situation here for the Road Warrior, unless Animal can pull this off. I mean, it's very unlikely in my opinion. The Hardys then, with that loss, move down to a +3 after 14 matches. In the singles division, Jeff Hardy moves down to a -1 after 25. Matt Hardy moves down to a 0 after 22. Animal's done it. Animal's eliminated Randy Orton. It's 1-on-1. Wow. Animal versus Edge. This is real twist now. Rated RKO may have messed this up, you know. Normally, when you've got a 2-on-1 situation, it's done and dusted, but it looks like Animal may have a chance here to get these championships for the Road Warriors. There's a power slam on Edge on the outside. There's the pin. Do we have brand new YouTube Tag Team Champions? 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Come on, Animal. We believe in you. I mean, I've got no favourites, but I really want to release Edge and Randy Orton back into the singles division, to be honest. Running sit-out powerbomb by Animal on Edge. Has he done it? 1, 2. Oh, I said 2 again. I also said what I might try and do once Edge and Randy lost the belts was to potentially have Randy align himself more with Cody. Bring back Legacy as a tag team. I mean, Cody's been struggling quite a bit in our universe mode, so to get him a few easy points in the tag division could work. And of course, Edge has now restarted his tag team alongside, of course, Christian. Pin now by Edge on Animal. I mean, just because Animal got back into it doesn't mean he was going to go on and win it. And there we go. It is rated RKO. Edge is just one step too good. I'll be honest, I think Animal took a ton of damage in this one, to be honest. And it just caught up with him towards the end. And the Road Warriors do lose the match. They move down to a -6 after 15, which now puts them... Actually, that puts them as the worst team we have. There's 2 teams below them, but neither of those 2 teams are real. It's the likes of El Mago, Cole Quinn, Chase, Baron Blade, or them sort of people. So this does now put the Road Warriors as the worst team in history. We do need to try and fix that if we can. Give them some opportunities to build themselves up. But rated RKO, what a lads. What a bunch of lads. With that win then, of course, it is 1 point for the win. 3 bonus points for defeating multiple opponents. Now puts them up to a +10 in the tag team rankings, which puts them joint 4th alongside the Funks, Terry Funk and Dory Funk Jr. Edge then with the victory moves himself up to a +14 after 40 matches. Randy Orton with that victory moves up to a +9 after 39 matches. And Animal and Hawk in the singles division also continue to absolutely crash out as they're now both on -6. Craziness. But there we go, successfully retained by Rated RKO. That surprised me. I really thought a match like this with so many big names, it was going to be very, very difficult to retain. But they've done it. So far, Rated RKO this year alone have defeated Motor City Machine Guns in a random match. They beat the New Day at SummerSlam. They defeated the Authors of Pain at Mayhem. And they defeated Joe Exotic, the team of Mr. Iguana and Joe Hendry back at When Worlds Collide. But this, of course, is their biggest defense to date. Defeated the Hardys, Road Warriors, and Eliminators at Invasion. I mean, who's going to beat them at this point? Who is going to beat them? They're our longest standing and best champions at this point. I don't think any of our other champions have actually defended the belt this many times. I have no idea who's ever going to take the belt off them at this point. And here we go then, SWE Women's Hardcore Championship on the line. Aja Kong representing WWF, defending against Bull Nakano, who's representing WCW, and Jazz, who is representing ECW. But it's not just that, this is huge. This is the final match of our Invasion tournament. At the moment, WCW are leading with 17 victories, ECW with 16, and WWF leading up the rear with only 13. So a win here for Jazz would draw it at 17 apiece. If that is the case, then our War Games match later on this evening, Team WCW versus Team ECW, will become the decider to see who wins the entire competition. If WWF or WCW win this, then that match will remain solely as a showcase. Of course, Aja Kong is the current Women's Hardcore Champion. She's been the champion for a little bit of time now. She won it back at Evolution in a match against Shotzi Blackheart, Sky Blue, and the then champion Asuka. And then she defended it back at Forbidden Door against Natsuko Tora. So this is her first defense since then. She's had a very good year because it was pretty rough for Aja Kong. She is now on +1 after 28 matches. She started the year at the bottom of the ranking system, but since then she's had 5 matches and gained 7 points from those 5 matches. And she's got a chance here to get even more because, of course, triple threat rules do apply. No countouts, no disqualifications, pinfalls and submissions can actually count anywhere in this one. And weapons are not only allowed but encouraged. But this one is worth 3 points in the ranking system, 1 point for the victory, and 2 points for defeating multiple opponents at once. So there's a chance for it to move up to a +4. Bull Nakano is on -2 after 9 matches, which is a bit disappointing. We expect a lot more from Bull Nakano. But again, as I keep saying, we put the best versus the best, and 2 of the ladies in this match will lose it. Whereas all 3 of them deserve to be really high up in the ranking system. And then finally, Jazz. I wonder how many times we've used Jazz in the past. Not Jazzy Gabert, Jazz on her own. Jazz has had 2 matches so far, 1 in 2021 and 1 in 2022. She is currently sat on 0. She won 1 and lost 1. So it's a big chance to go from absolutely nothing to a chance at the Women's Hardcore Championship is one hell of a turnaround, and a chance to not only showcase what you can do, but guarantee yourself more action in the future. She wins this, she's got to at least defend it once. And again, like I said, it's worth 3 points. So a win here for Jazz, currently on 0. A win would put her on to +3 and instantly put her into the top 50. Bull Nakano now dropping into the pin on Aja Kong. Jazz fought back, striking the back now, sending, well, no, intending to send Bull Nakano into the corner. I feel like Bull Nakano has definitely worked both WWE and WCW. I don't know about ECW, to be honest. I don't think so. ECW wasn't really one for their female wrestlers, were they? No. She worked WWF from 94 to 95 and WCW from 95 to 96. Of course, Jazz worked ECW and WWF. Aja Kong, I believe, did the same. Worked both WWF and WCW, but didn't do any work in ECW. She worked WWF for 1 year in 95. I know she did work. I'm sure she worked WCW, didn't she? Yeah, she did, yeah. No, she didn't. No, ignore me. So Aja Kong was due to wrestle Alundra Blaze for the Women's Championship. However, when Alundra Blaze turned up in WCW, that didn't happen. The company elected to end the women's division after that happened. I didn't realise that. Okay. So yeah, Aja Kong has only ever worked WWF, even that was only a short period of time. Bull Nakano did work both, and Jazz, of course, worked ECW up until the Invasion, and then moved across to WWF. I think she did she go across earlier, actually? I remember she was a manager for, was it Rodney Mack for a while? So she moved across to WWF in 2001, which I'm assuming was part of the Invasion. Yeah, it was. Okay. The Aja Kong kendo stick right across the face of Jazz. There's the pin. Of course, as I said, it's false count anywhere. Referee is just awful. Absolutely nowhere to be found. The look at... Oh, Aja Kong descending. Bull Nakano flying up to the air. Jazz stacking. Aja Kong up. This will make it interesting. Nope. Only a 1 count. Yeah, it's pretty good Jazz core, this one, I think. It's not, like, perfect, but it's really good. You can tell who it is. Which, after some of the ones we've had this week, is a lot better. I mean, we had the likes of Nicole Bass, didn't we? That was a bit of a rough one. Jazz now with that Fisherman's Brainbuster, but Aja Kong is there to break up any potential pins. Yeah, so Jazz worked all the way up until 2004 in WWF before leaving. Then she came back as part of the ECW head-to-head thingy they did. I'm sure, am I wrong? I'm sure she managed Rodney Mack in WWE. Yeah. I was on the independent circuit, though. I know, okay, it was towards the end of her time in WWF. I didn't realise she was married to Rodney Mack, okay. So she was married to Rodney Mack, she was his manager for a short period of time. And then the pair of them went off onto the independent circuit. I always forget that Rodney Mack exists. I don't really know much about him, to be honest, if he's actually any good or not, but... He was working ECW towards the very end before then moving across to WWF. He did return for a short period of time in 2006, 2007. I'm not quite sure what for. Apparently it was reported back in 2006 that Rodney Mack had re-signed with WWF alongside Marty Jannetty and Brad Armstrong. That's a funky trio, isn't it, really? Got Aja Kong there flattening Bull Nakano with a steel chair. Aja Kong now on the back of Jazz in with a big German suplex. It's another one we can add to our intergender division, isn't it? Let me add that on now because I'm going to forget that one. Rodney Mack and Jazz. Rodney Mack and Jazz. There we go. That's added on. We don't want to forget those. We do want to do a mixed match challenge at some point. I keep saying it, I keep forgetting to check it if we can actually make an intergender tag team championship. I'm sure you probably can. Fisherman's Brainbust there by Jazz on Aja Kong. Bull Nakano is there though. Bull, what are you doing? Oh god. She started taunting there rather than breaking it up. Bull Nakano now, big German suplex taken down. Jazz and now sending it into the barricade. And there's the cheeky roll up here by Aja Kong. If Aja Kong retains the championship, remember, WCW will win the entire competition. Oh, it's only a 2 count. It was closer, wasn't it? Aja Kong now, nice scoop slam on Bull Nakano. And now look at the blood. Wow, Aja Kong really been busted open earlier on. And there's the Hurricane taking down Bull Nakano. But Jazz is there to break it up. Jazz now bringing Aja Kong back up to a standing base. The pair of them go at it. If Jazz can steal this win, then it completely opens things up and the War Games will decide the entire competition. There's the pin. Aja Kong is far away. She's got to hope that Bull Nakano kicks out. She doesn't. Oh my god, Jazz has done it. Oh my word. Oh my word. Okay. Okay. That now means... Number one, that Jazz is your new SWE Women's Hardcore Champion. It also means that both WCW and ECW now have 17 victories each. Which means that the War Games coming up this evening will now decide the entire competition. Team WCW versus Team ECW in War Games. Team WCW of Goldberg, Booker T, Ric Flair and Sting versus Team ECW of the Sandman, Sabu, Rob Van Dam and Taz. The winner of that match will decide the entire competition. That is huge. Wow. I did not see that coming, to be honest. I really did not see that coming at all. Right. Anyway, let's stop faffing about. Let's update the ranking system. So Jazz is your new SWE Women's Hardcore Champion in her first ever reign as any champion. Of course, this is only her third ever match at SWE. She's done very, very well. And like I said, the fact now that she's going to focus and She's going to guarantee herself some more matches in the future. Insert notes. 1 at Invasion versus Aja Kong and Bull Nakano. Boom, there we go. Into the actual rankings themselves then, Jazz gains herself 3 points, 1 point for the victory and 2 bonus points for defeating multiple opponents, which moves up to a +3 overall. Aja Kong's had a fantastic year, but she does lose. That's only her second loss of the year. She drops down to a 0 after 29, still +6 for the year. And Bull Nakano continues her descent. That is -3 now after 10 matches. All right then, let's move on to our next match of the evening. Finally, we're going to move into a singles match. I haven't seen one of those in bloody ages. And here we go then, SWE Cruiserweight Championship is on the line. Lio Rush making what I believe might actually be his first defense. Let me just double check. Lio Rush. Yeah, making his first title defense against Juventud Guerrera. Lio Rush won the belt back at When Worlds Collide only a couple of weeks ago. He defeated the then champion Sammy Guevara and Javon Evans in a triple threat match. And he's up here then against Juventud Guerrera, who has been consistently very, very good. Champion Lio Rush currently sits on +3 after 4 matches, but Juventud Guerrera has been fantastic for quite some time, and he's actually very high in the rankings. He is 21st in the ranking system, which sees him on +14 after only 8 matches. That's the crazy thing. This is his 9th ever match. He's going to go for the championship. He's won some big ones in the past. He's +5 solely for this year. This year he's won a singles match and a triple threat match as well. He won then. He's won some stuff. I don't know what he's won, to be honest with you. He won the... No, I don't know what he's won. He won the triple threat, didn't he, this week? Yeah, we know that. And I think he also won a match and got an elimination in like a Fatal 4, wasn't it? That was it, yeah. Last week at When Worlds Collide. That's how... Yeah, of course he did, because he qualified for the... No, he didn't. Oh, my brain is broken. I can't remember anything. It doesn't matter. It's not important, does it, either way. But yeah, I fancy Hoovy for this one, to be honest. Hoovy's been absolutely fantastic. I just don't like this core because of the stupid glasses. But I understand why the glasses there, I just don't like them. So yeah, big chance here for Lio Rush then to prove that he deserves to be where he is, because many people may have been surprised when Lio Rush walked out as the Cruiserweight champion after When Worlds Collide. I mean, in fairness, the entire match, it wasn't exactly the strongest Cruiserweights ever had in the world, but they're very, very good nonetheless. It was very much an up-and-coming match when it's Sammy Guevara, Lio Rush, Javon Evans. I think all those 3 guys are under the age of 30. They're all fantastic young cruiserweights with very long careers ahead of them. Lio Rush now around the back of Hoovy. And Hoovy rolled him through. Of course, Hoovy, a fantastic cruiserweight from the WCW days, still working, I believe, across Mexico in AAA. Of course, we saw him on AEW television a couple of years ago when he faced off against Chris Jericho. One of Chris Jericho's original feuds back in WCW was Hoovy. The strike in the leg there by Hoovy, now taking control of Lio Rush. This is the 4th championship match of the night now, isn't it? We have seen 2 brand new champions already from the matches. I still can't believe that Rated RKO were able to retain their championships. That was the one that I thought was the hardest. Fatal 4-way tag team elimination. Rated RKO have just been such a good team this year. After this one, we'll have John Moxley versus Tank Abbott. That'll be for the Underground Championship. We have also got, of course, the Intercontinental Championship. Will Ospreay, Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. But before the main event, we will have the double main event, if you will now then. Team WCW versus Team ECW to win the SWE Invasion pay-per-view. Nice Hurricanrana. And Lio Rush now with the arm breaker, sending Juvi face first into the mat. Lio Rush now springs over the top, in with a clothesline. Rush is in firm control of this one now. I mean, I do expect Juvi to win it just based on form at the moment. Juvi's been absolutely outstanding. If Rush can pull this off. There's the kick right in the side of their head. And Lio Rush now up on top. In that big frog splash. That could be enough to finish this one off. There's the pin. Will it be enough for the 1, 2? Oh, only a 2 count. And Lio Rush now, I thought he was going to try and pull the mask off there, but running just a strike right across the face. Another big one across the face. Lio Rush now in with a standing moonsault, taking down Juvi. At the moment, I really thought Juvi would be the favourite for this one, but Lio Rush is dominating so far, but Juvi getting some offense in with a wheelbarrow DDT. Juvi now willing Lio Rush back up to a standing base. Springboards off, and Lio Rush caught him with the powerbomb. Lio Rush really impressing me here, to be honest. Impressing me. My brain is really not working. I've done too many bloody videos this week. He says as he looks at his stupid schedule for next week. Lio Rush now off the ropes. Juvi with a drop kick into the knee. Bringing Lio Rush back up to a standing base. Juvi now sending Rush face first into the corner. Juvi now with that scoop slam. He's going to head up. And Juvi dives in with that Hurricanrana takedown on Lio Rush. There's the pin. Will that be enough for the 1, 2? Ooh, Lio Rush grabbed the bottom rope. Okay. Wasn't much of a kick out there, but Lio Rush maybe didn't need to. He grabbed the bottom rope. That's all he needs to do in this situation. There's the DDT by Juvi. Heading up to the top. Juvi now, 450 splash. Do we have a brand new SWE Cruiserweight champion? No, it's only a 2. I mean, there's really good Juvis without a mask. Maybe we should just go for that, to be honest, because the mask is what's really throwing me off on this. Of course, we used the mask for this competition because the whole idea of this tournament, this match that he had, was it was Jushin Liger versus Juventud versus Psychosis, wasn't it? It was 3 guys who all had horns on their masks. That's why we used the masked version, but I think maybe moving forward, the unmasked version might be better. Tilt-a-whirl all the way around into the armbar. But Lio Rush was able to break free, but you see him holding his arm. It was damaged. It was painful. Rush sending Juvi off the ropes, ducks underneath. Round the back, nice snap German. Juvi now slowly back up to his feet. Rush with the jab in the face, the kicks, the strikes. Sending Juvi face first into the mat. And now look at Lio Rush with the arm breaker. And now here with that flipping moonsault as well. There's a boot into the arm. But Juvi's back up. Taking Rush down. Juvi up on top. 450 again. He hits it. This could be enough. For the 1, the 2, the 3. Juventud Guerrera is your brand new Cruiserweight champion in what is the least surprising match for me of the night. I just expect he's just been so freaking good, Juventud. He was always going to do bloody well here, wasn't he? And there we go. Moves up then to a plus 15 after 9 matches in our ranking system. Becomes the next Cruiserweight champion. And he deserves it. He really does. He's been absolutely fantastic. I say he's only have had 9 matches in our universe mode, but he's massively impressed in every single one. And Lio Rush won the belt but loses it on his first chance to defend. Defeated Lio Rush at Invasion. Right, and then Lio Rush himself is going to move down a little bit in the ranking system. With that loss, moves him down to a +2 after 5 matches. So what's that now? Is that 4 championship matches, 3 brand new champions crowned? And we've got 2 more championship matches yet to come. Up next, we've got Jon Moxley up against Tank Abbott for the Underground Championship. Before, of course, our main event of the evening, Will Ospreay, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship. Got a kick right in the head there by Lio Rush. Thought it might be enough, but it was the second 450 here that eventually was enough to keep Lio Rush down for the 1, for the 2, and the 3 count. Big, big victory then for Juventud Guerrera. He walks away, your brand new Cruiserweight champion. Like I said, I might change the Hoovy. I'm not a big fan of this mask. I might change and get ourselves an unmasked Hoovy. We might as well. There's a really good one out there. I have seen it. Here we go then, SWE Bloodsport Championship is on the line. Jon Moxley defending against Tank Abbott. And of course, Tank Abbott won this opportunity when he won a fatal 3-way, that's not what it's called, a triple threat match against both Ken Shamrock and Masato Tanaka. So really, in my opinion, was the underdog for that match, but still managed to come out on top. And today then he faces off against Jon Moxley, the current champion. Let's have a look where we sit. So Tank Abbott, he currently sits on +3 after 3 matches. He's never lost a match. No, he has. What am I talking about? I'm a knob. He's lost 1 match, and he has won 2 matches. One of those was a triple threat, hence why he got the extra points. And then you have Jon Moxley, the current champion. Have I put a H in his name? I have. No? What have I done here? Jon Moxley. There we go. Jon Moxley +10 after 48 matches. He's +8 for the year. Done really, really well this year, Jon Moxley. This is what's really turned his life around in SWE. And that is what it's for then, the Bloodsport Championship. Remember the rules then, no counts, no pinfalls. The only way to win is by knockout, referee stoppage or submission. Tank Abbott, of course, a well-known striker, absolutely brutal. And I think Moxley may have trouble here. Look at that spinning back fist already. Moxley realizes he's in trouble. And now look at the submission locked in. Early on in the match here by Tank Abbott. Moxley fighting back with the elbows into the face. Tank Abbott now with the elbows into the gut of Moxley. Running dropkick into the back, sending Moxley face first into the mat. Tank Abbott now taking Moxley up. The dump him to the outside. He does scoop, slams him to the outside over the top of 2 of the fans as well. And Tank Abbott now bringing Mox back up. Big stiff knee strike into the face. So far, 4 championship matches, 3 brand new champions. The odds are not in Moxley's favour. Tank Abbott bringing Moxley back up to a standing base, and Tank just throwing him now back into the ring. Abbott rolls Moxley over. Big knee strike into the face. And look at the lady at the back. She was shocked by what she's seeing so far, but Mox is back up. He has got incredible resilience. We know that. He's done lots of these sort of matches in the past. He's done deathmatch wrestling. He's done all this sort of stuff in the past. And his resilience has always been so key. He can take the damage. He can still get up and take even more and more and more. Look at Mox now slamming the back of Tank Abbott's head into the mat. The Tank fighting back, tripping him over. And now a big knee into the ins. It's the outside of the thigh. It's so painful, that. strike in the face there by Moxley on Tank Abbott. And then a big drop kick right into the chest as well. Tank Abbott looking for those big kicks, but Mox catches a leg, pushing him over. And there's a drop kick right into the throat of Tank Abbott. Mox now bringing Tank back up to a standing base. Throws him inside to the ring. Mox now stamping on the ankle, and Tank Abbott just pushes him away. Straight into the ring post goes Tank Abbott. Has busted him open. Moxley gets first blood in this match. And it's an ace crusher out of nowhere by Moxley. And all of a sudden, the experience edge of Moxley starting to show. Tank Abbott had the raw power, the raw explosivity at the very beginning, but the longer the match has gone, the more Moxley has grown into it. Tank Abbott just about able to survive. Oh, maybe not. Wait, he's still... Wait. He is now back up on his feet. Mox spins him round. Tank able to slide free into a DDT. Tank Abbott with a strike in the face. Look at the elbow by Mox, and look, a running big boot. There's the strikes. The stiff forearms by Mox on the outside. Straight into the ring steps goes Tank Abbott. Mox bringing him back up to standing base once again before sending him crashing to the ground again. And Moxley just stamping on the hand. Dropping an elbow inside the knee and wrenching. Look at that. He's spotted the bandaged knee of Tank Abbott and just raining down the strikes. Really painful. Tank able to fight him back. There's the boot right in the chest of Moxley before now bringing him back up by the back of his head and locking in that submission on the outside. Tank Abbott could have Moxley in. No, Moxley able to break free straight away. Mox now taking Tank Abbott up on the outside. Even that pile driver. The referee says continue on, so Moxley does. And he's locking in with the Pirate's hook. That submission hold. Can Tank Abbott survive? He has so far. Yes, he's able to roll it free. But the damage has been done. The big pile driver on the outside and then the submission hold as well. The damage has been done. Tank Abbott, though, taking some control, sending Mox back into the ring. And I'll be honest, it's Mox who looks in a fitter condition. Tank's been busted open quite a while ago. As he just throws Moxley to the outside once again. That's twice he's done that now, just lobbed him off the edge of the ring. As Tank now hooking the arms of Moxley. Oh my god, the stiff forearms in the back of the head. Abbott now bringing Mox back up. Mox fighting back with the boots in the back of the legs. Tank Abbott with a knee in the gut. Mox with a strike. And then looking now for the Death Rider. Boom, lifted up. Double arm DDT. The referee still says continue on though. Wow. Tank Abbott now bringing Mox back up. Then got his boots right into the ribs and one right across the face as well. And look at Tank Abbott now just wrenching back at the hand and dropping the knees into the spine. It's really could go either way now, you know. It's really been a battle between these two. DDT of the knee there by Tank Abbott on Moxley. Once again, though, working on the leg. Is he thinking maybe a knee bar or something? The way he's working that leg makes me feel that he's got some sort of plan for the future. As Mox up on the shoulders now, sent back into the ring. I think Tank Abbott's realised when this one gets into a brawl on the outside, he's not the favourite. But he does lock in the submission for the third time in the match. Will it be enough to make Jon Moxley tap out? No, Mox fights back with the elbows into the face of Tank Abbott. And sent him straight back into that ring post again, Moxley. Moxley willing Tank back up to his feet. And now it's Moxley's turn to dump Tank Abbott to the outside. Brings him back up. Mox now looking for that second pile driver. He could have done it inside the ring, but he realizes more damage on the outside. Referee still says continue on, though. What does Mox need to do to finish Tank Abbott off? This is insane. He's hit with 2 pile drivers on the outside. He's hitting with the Death Rider outside. There's an Hurricane there by Tank Abbott, but Moxley fighting back. And then has the arms hooked in with a second Death Rider. And again, the referee says no. And Moxley decides just to kick his head in instead. The referee is on one here today, I'm sure. How on earth Tank Abbott is still in this match, I'll have no idea. Referee still says continue. And look at the blood that Moxley has left on the mat from Tank Abbott. It's insane. Abbott now with the elbow in the gut of Moxley. Into the barricade. I feel like Moxley's been done over here. This really should have been over, really. There's the boot right in the back of the leg of Moxley by Tank Abbott, who somehow is still going after being pile driven on the outside twice and being hit by the Rough Rider twice. There's a low blow. All is fair in love and war, I suppose. It's a no DQ match. Moxley fighting back, though. He's not happy at all. And now locking in that cross armbar, wrenching back at the elbow of Tank Abbott. I don't think Mox has done much arm damage, though. I don't think it's going to be worth it. Tank Abbott sending Moxley crashing to the ground. And look at these strikes now by Tank Abbott right into the face. Mox fighting back with a boot up. And Moxley now DDT in the leg of Tank Abbott into the mat again. He's seeing that knee that's bandaged up, and there it is, the hook. The submission locked in surely this time. The damage has been done by Moxley. It has indeed, and he does get the win here over Tank Abbott. Moxley moves up to a +11 after 49 matches, and Tank Abbott with that loss is going to move down to a +2 after just 4 matches. Wow, what a match that was. That was intense. And I don't mean camping. That was a real intense match. It really could have gone either way. I do think the referee was very giving to Tank Abbott there, because after Mox had hit 2 pile drivers and 2 Rough Riders on the outside, Death Riders on the outside, I'm absolutely shocked the referee didn't stop the match, to be honest. But eventually it was, I noticed all the crowd disappear when they do the replays, that's interesting. But it was the submission in the end that Moxley was able to lock in, but again for the second time in the match that was enough. This was the second pile driver, and this is what Mox was doing. All the damage to the head, all the damage to the neck was enough to weaken it down for the submission. That was a second Death Rider, which wasn't enough. This was the low blow by Tank Abbott. I thought that might have been enough, to be honest. But there it was. The Captain's Hook, is that what it's called? I can't remember what he calls it now. No, the Captain's Hook is somebody else's variation. It's the same maneuver, I'm pretty sure. But either way, Moxley retains the championship. He retains the championship in what is his second ever defense. No, it's his first defense, actually. He won the belt from Razor back at Forbidden Door. This is his first defense of the belt. Defended versus Tank Abbott at Invasion. There we go. Moxley is still your Bloodsport champion. And here we go, then it's time for War Games. The winner of this War Games will be the winning promotion in the Invasion competition so far. Both WCW and ECW, both with 17 victories each. And this is Team WCW, the team of Ric Flair, Goldberg, Sting, and Booker T, up against Team ECW, the team of Rob Van Dam, Sabu, Sandman, and Taz. So this should be really good. And of course, the rules of War Games is that every, is it 30 seconds or a minute, someone new will enter the match. I don't know who has the advantage. I've left it up to the computer to randomise who has the advantage. And only when all 8 men are in the ring will the bell ring and the match officially begin. And then from that point on, first pinfall or submission will be enough to get the victory. Ring escape or cage escape is not possible. If you do escape over the top of the cage, you will forfeit and your team will lose the match. So kicking things off then with Rob Van Dam and Ric Flair. Let's have a quick look at the old ranking system for these two. Ric Flair currently sitting... That's David Flair, not Ric. Ric Flair currently sitting in 38th position on the ranking system. He's +2 for the year, +9 overall. And RVD currently in 53rd position on +8 overall after 24 matches. And it's WCW who do have the man advantage, and in comes the Icon Sting. Of course, Sting and Ric Flair have a checkered history themselves within WCW. When it comes to being named as the best company, these two guys are willing to work together. Well, I said they're working together. Sting's working on RVD and Ric Flair's just watching at this point. But so we do know WCW will have the man's advantage then. So they're always going to have the advantage moving forward. But then when it gets to the very end, the last person who enters will be ECW, and he will be completely fit as a fiddle. So it sort of works both ways, I suppose. But at the moment, Ric Flair and Sting absolutely demolishing Rob Van Dam. I don't even know who's next into this one, to be honest. I want to say potential... I don't know who it is. I made the match. I can't remember what I did, to be honest. But Flair and Sting both just sending RVD from ring to ring, doing damage. RVD has really struggled here, this 2-on-1 situation. Sting now bringing RVD back up. There's a knee across the face. As the countdown does now begin, RVD looking to try and get some assistance because this 2-on-1 has been brutal so far. In comes it's Taz. So Taz is the next man in this match. And he is going to come and give Rob Van Dam a hand. Taz, of course, a human suplex machine. He's not really doing much help, is he? He's just stood around watching, isn't he? But now he's going to go after Sting. Sting, lovely power slam on Taz. And so far, nothing much has changed, has it really? It's still pretty much dominant in the favour of WCW. And I do think, looking at the teams, WCW will be the favourites to go on and win this one. I mean, when you've got Booker T, Goldberg, Sting, Ric Flair all together in one team, it seems unlikely that ECW can pull off the victory. I mean, RVD and Taz are both fantastic wrestlers, as is Sabu and Sandman, but I think they're just a step behind how good this WCW squad is. Hence why at the very beginning, I didn't think that ECW stood much of a chance. I mean, they have some very good wrestlers, but I just really thought this was going to be between WCW and WWF. I mean, if you can imagine if that's what this War Games was going to be, you'd have like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H and The Undertaker versus, Sting, Flair, Goldberg, Booker. It would have been a fantastic... I mean, this is a fantastic match anyway, but I'm just shocked that ECW got it. As the next entrant for WCW then is going to be Booker T, and he's not coming empty-handed. He's going to grab himself some toys. He's got himself a table from underneath the ring. Booker sending it into the ring. He's going to get something else. He's going to get some more. As RVD, he's already hit one 5-star frog splash. He's now willing. Ric Flair back up, went for the forearm. Ric Flair was able to avoid it. And now Taz locking in that Taz mission submission on Sting. Booker T has a stop sign as well. I'm not sure technically if the countdown begins when Booker T enters the ring or whether it begins as soon as he's released from the cage, because he spent quite a bit of time over there getting stuff. Ric Flair now with the vertical suplex. Taz with a boot in the gut. And now, of course, it's a 3-on-2 situation on behalf of WCW here. until the next entrant, which will be either Sabu or the Sandman, with Goldberg still to come from WCW. Goldberg could do with the win, because he's always struggled, hasn't he, in this universe mode. Where's Goldberg now? Gold. He is gold. Always believe in the soul. Goldberg. Nope, let's go Dust. There he is, Goldberg. -3 after 15 matches. He needs this win, really. It's Sabu who's entering next then for ECW to even up the numbers. As look at Taz working over the arm of Ric Flair now. Flair's struggling in this match. As Sabu under the ring finds himself a kendo stick, very much on brand. Gonna get something else. As Ric Flair now with a spinning toe hold on Taz. It's a steel chair in the ring now by Sabu. That's really on brand. And the numbers are evened now at 3 versus 3. Remember, it will be the first pinfall or submission once all 8 men are in the ring and the bell has rung that will be victorious in not only this match but in the entire competition. We had 2 weeks building up to this, and for WCW and ECW to end up at a draw is insane, to be honest. Abbott taking down Sting. Sabu working over Booker T. Ric Flair went for the elbow. Taz was able to avoid it, and ECW taking some control in this match now. But Taz just launching Ric Flair. Sting with a big dive, taking down RVD. Sabu with a strike. The elbows in the gut, and now a drop kick right in the head by Sabu on Booker T. Booker taking Sabu up, drops him in the backbreaker. Referee opens the cage, and here comes Goldberg. Is he going to get straight in the ring, or is he going to find some toys as well? He's straight in. Goldberg's having none of this props, anything like that. He's just coming straight in. His body's a prop. He just pick up a kendo stick straight off the bat mode. So just the Sandman left now then to enter the match. But WCW are going to get some of a 4-on-3 advantage for a short period of time. Sting now taking Sabu up onto the shoulder. Goldberg clubbing blow. What's wrong with that? I know. That's trying to tell me that she's hungry. It's dinner time. I literally fed her about an hour ago, but she's still hungry anyway because she's a fat chunky baby. Goldberg gets raining on the strikes into the face of Sabu. Who would have thought they'd see Goldberg and Sabu face each other off? A Sting now hooking the legs. He's going to roll Sabu over into the Scorpion Deathlock. And yes, the WCW's man advantage is really working well from here. Well, RVD getting some damage there on Rob Van Dam. Here it comes, the countdown to release the Sandman into this match. He's out. He's on his way down. Is he going to get some toys on the way? Wouldn't be surprised if the Sandman grabs himself a kendo stick from under the ring. He's not in any rush by the looks of it. And of course, as soon as Sandman enters the ring, the match will officially be underway. Sandman's coming straight in. The gate is closed. The bell will ring. Next pinfall or submission will be the winning team. And it really could go either way. I do think on paper WCW would be the winners, but with this many people in the ring, it's absolute chaos. You never know who it's going to be. Ric Flair sending Taz off the ropes. Taz caught him, clubbing blow across the spine, and a headbutt against Ric Flair. Booker T now setting up the table as Goldberg is sending Sandman straight into the cage wall. Sabu diving DDT from the top rope on Sting. The Booker T now spinning Taz round in with the neckbreaker. Knee in the gut, and now Sabu in with a Fameasser on Goldberg. Booker T now in with the axe kick on Taz. And I tell you what, it's a 2-on-1 in that side of the ring. It's pretty dominant for WCW. They should go for the pin, really. They just hit the axe kick on Taz. That should be enough. As Ric Flair now, though, hooking the leg in with that figure 4 leg lock on Taz. Can anyone get across to save him? I don't think they can, you know. He was able to break free. Booker T, though, just kicking into the head of Taz. Taz is in trouble here. They need to balance out the numbers, ECW. Goldberg went for the pin there on Sabu, but RVD was there to break it up. Taz now being dumped into the other ring. We're going to get all 8 people crushed in one ring. We've got 2 rings for a reason, people. Booker T now with the pin, but Sandman and Sabu both there to break it up. Sandman now in with a Russian leg sweep on Sting. Goldberg throwing Taz right into the corner. There's so much action going on. Booker T now taken up. RVD in with a powerbomb. There's a pin in the middle of the ring here by Ric Flair on Sabu. Only a 1 count. Sandman diving off with a senton. I think he missed it on Sting. Booker T there with a bookend. Taking down Taz. Doesn't get a chance to go for the pin though because Rob Van Dam is there. But then Rob Van Dam has got a stop sign in the back of the head. Sting up on the top. Ric Flair going for the figure 4 leg lock on Sabu. He's got it. And WWE should have the victory here potentially if Sabu taps out. No, he doesn't. Sabu survives. Sting with a running bulldog taking down Sandman. There's just so much going on, I can't keep track. RVD sending Ric Flair face first into the top rope. Sabu taking down Booker T. They need to split up across the 2 rings, don't they, really? Oh, stop sign right between the eyes by Rob Van Dam on Flair. Flair has taken some damage there. I mean, Taz going to be one of the favourites for this because he can lock in that Taz mission out of nowhere, and that's going to be a way that they can pick up the victory. Sabu now up on top, springs off, flips through and rolls Booker. Taz now stalking Ric Flair. He does lock in that Taz mission. Will Flair tap? He's been in since the very beginning. Oh my god. He's tapped. He's freaking tapped. ECW have done it. ECW have won. Oh my word. ECW have won the competition. Wow. Absolute amazing for ECW. It really is. Again, I wasn't expecting this. I thought ECW were going to be the least likely to go on and win. They've gone on and done it. Holy guacamole. Okay, let's update the ranking system then. So, we have RVD, who is going to pick himself up a point. Moves him up to a +9 after 25. We have Sabu, picks up a point. Moves up to +2 after 23. We have Taz with 1Z. Gets a point, moves up to a +7 after 19. And we have the Sandman, picks up a point and moves up to +3 after 14. On the flip side then, we have Goldberg, who continues his descent into madness. With that loss, he moves down to -4 after 16. Booker T, with that loss, moves down to -1 after 23. Sting, with that loss, moves down to a +12 after 42. And finally, Ric Flair, with that loss, is going to move down to a +8 after 35. But also in the tag division, we do have RVD and Sabu as a tag team, so we are going to give those a point in the tag division as well. And that moves them up to a +2 after 4 matches. Right, ECW are the winners of the Invasion Tournament. And now we move on to our last match of the entire week. It's the Intercontinental Championship match. Here we go then. SWE Intercontinental Championship is on the line in our main event of the evening. Will Ospreay has held this belt for quite some time now, with successful defenses against Owen Hart. He also defeated Bandito and Swerve, as well as Jeff Cobb. This is his 4th championship defense, but will it be his final one, as he faces off against both Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels? Of course, Shawn Michaels is here because he won a triple threat back on Monday against both Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Eddie Guerrero. And Chris Jericho is here because he won a match yesterday against both Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. So big opportunity. It's going to be an incredible match, and we have already seen 5 championship matches this evening, with 2 successfully retained and 3 brand new champions. Where will this one go? I still can't get my head around the fact that ECW have won the entire competition. After I put them down as the underdogs for the whole competition, they've gone on to win it. Of course, ECW then finished with 18, effectively, from winning the War Games. WCW was 17, and WWF bring up the rear on only 13. Pretty shocked by that, to be honest. I think there were some big names in WWF that didn't really show up. I mean, the likes of Rey Mysterio, of course, for WWF. The Rock. The Undertaker. You had Vader. Owen Hart, the Wild Samoans, Ken Shamrock, Trish Stratus, Triple H. You had Hulk Hogan, Kane. Some real big names that just did not really perform very well indeed, and it allowed ECW and WCW just to pull away. I mean, WWF had a pretty decent couple of days. I mean, ECW only won 2 matches across Saturday and Sunday, which is what led them coming into this pay-per-view needing 2 wins in a row, which they pulled off. But they only won 2 matches out of 10, with WCW winning 5 and WWF, no, it was out of 11 then, wasn't it? How does maths work? No, it is 10. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Out of 10 matches, ECW won 2, WCW won 4, and WWF won 4. WCW had a great week. I mean, when it finished off last week, WCW weren't doing terrifically well, but ECW started the week off pretty well. But WCW across both Friday and Saturday were very, very good. I mean, they picked up 7 of their points just in those 2 days. And of course, this is standard triple threat rules, so no disqualifications, no countouts. Pinfalls and submissions will have to take place inside the ring. And it is first pinfall or submission that will be the champion, as Chris Jericho now rolling over Shawn Michaels. And don't forget, the champion does not need to be pinned or submitted to lose this. So Will Ospreay could not be involved at all in the finish. Chris Jericho now striking the back of Will Ospreay. And look at a kick in the back of the head there by Ospreay on Jericho. Ospreay's been fantastic so far, hasn't he? Let's have a look at the ranking system for these 3 guys. So Ospreay currently sitting in 2nd on plus 27 alongside the current world champion Roman Reigns. If Will Ospreay wins this match, for the first time in many, many years, Bret the Hitman Hart will be taken off of the top of the ranking system. Bret's been top of the ranking system forever. But he currently sits on plus 29 after 60 matches. Will Ospreay on plus 27 after 45. If Ospreay does win this, he will go top of the ranking system. Elsewhere then, we have got Shawn Michaels, who's had a pretty good year. He started off in a pretty bad position on -4, but he's now on plus 3 after a plus 7 this year alone. So he's having a really, really good year this year, Shawn Michaels, and this could be the real cherry on the cake, isn't it, really? He's on plus 3 at the moment, of course. 3 points for this win would put him up to a plus 6, which would be huge. And, of course, having the championship's even bigger. And then you've got Chris Jericho, currently sits in 36th position on plus 10 after 35 matches. So all 3 of these guys are very good. As Ospreay on the outside now with a Styles Clash on Jericho. Shawn Michaels now sending Ospreay back into the ring. Look at Michaels now sending Ospreay off the ropes. Michaels springs off. Ospreay catches him with that standing... I don't even know what that is. It's like a Spanish fly that turns into like a crossbody, and great maneuver there, taking down Chris Jericho as well. Ospreay showing some incredible agility tonight. Of course, both Michaels and Jericho do probably have I was going to say, they will have an experienced edge over Ospreay, but Ospreay's not like a young lad who's only just started wrestling. He's been going for a very long time himself. I mean, I remember going to watch a very young Will Ospreay myself many, many years ago before NXT UK was even a thing. Myself and PJ Toby went to see, I think there was a load of matches. It was Will Ospreay versus Mark Andrews. They did like a best of 5 series, and they were some of the best matches I ever saw live. Ospreay there, nice springboard taking down Shawn Michaels. Ospreay now looking underneath the ring for some toys, finds himself a kendo stick, but Shawn Michaels slaps it out of his hand before he gets a chance. Shawn Michaels now grabbing a hold of Jericho, going to bring him across. Jericho fighting back with the elbows in the guts. Lovely running crossbody. Remember, damage can be done outside here, but it won't count. I mean, yeah, it will count. Full damage counts, obviously, but you can't win the match on the outside. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh God, I've recorded far too much today. I'm absolutely knackered, you can probably tell. The fatigue is coming on. And then Sudden Knob decided to plan in 5 matches for tomorrow. That knob was me, by the way. Ospreay, big Saito suplex there on Michaels. Folds him in half. And look at Ospreay with the boots right into the face. Rolling Michaels over. Going to wrench back at the arm. Dropping the knees right in the spine, and Jericho's there with a kendo stick. Oh, nice ace crusher out of nowhere there by Will Ospreay. Of course, I think Ospreay did face Jericho, didn't he? Was that the match they had at the very first All In, wasn't it? Shawn Michaels now sending Ospreay towards the ring. No, Michaels sent into the ring himself. And Ospreay's had a very good run. Of course, Ospreay was both the Cruiserweight and Intercontinental Champion when we began this year's game. As he takes him down. I've forgotten Ospreay's finishing maneuver is called. What's it called? Either way, Jericho might win the championship here. Ospreay's taken down Michaels. Jericho sending Ospreay to the outside. What is Ospreay's finisher called? Will Ospreay finisher. It's called the Stormbreaker, that was it. I would have said the Windbreaker, but I knew that wasn't right. And it just sounds like he's farting, doesn't it, really? So Ospreay springs off. Oh, Michaels able to avoid it. Michaels now catching Ospreay. There's a boot in the gut. Going to take him up into a powerbomb position, but Ospreay fighting back. Jericho now with the strikes in the back. Ospreay rolls him round into that stiff lariat. There's the pin. Jericho's not even noticed because he's under the ring looking for some toys. Oh, it's only a 2 count though. Ospreay now grabbing a hold of Jericho, going to take him up onto the shoulders, in with the Stormbreaker once again, this time on Jericho. Michaels though, springboard. Splash there by Ospreay. Michaels had a chance there. If he could have got Ospreay out the ring there, he could have gone for the pin on Jericho, maybe would have got the win. Ospreay dropping Michaels face first across the top. Ospreay now bringing Jericho back up. There's a stiff knee strike across the face. After the Stormbreaker, that could actually be enough for Ospreay to retain the championship. And it's only a 2 count. I thought that were it then. Look at Jericho stacking Ospreay up here. Michaels comes across, breaks it up. And out of nowhere, the sweet chin music by Shawn Michaels on Chris Jericho. And of course, Jericho's the one who's also taken the damage from the Stormbreakers. Michaels now sending Ospreay off the ropes. Just kicking away at the shins, so painful. And now heading up to the top. Is he thinking for that big elbow? He does. Over the top of Jericho, who's diving towards him, hits that elbow, but Jericho's there to break up the pin attempt. Michaels with the elbow in the gut, and there's a sweet chin music once again by Michaels on Jericho. Ospreay's down. Oh, referee, what are you doing? Referee's just screwed Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels has just had his own version of the screw job against him. If the referee had gone down and counted straight away, I think Shawn Michaels will be your brand new Intercontinental Champion. Ospreay taking Jericho up into that big sit-out powerbomb. Hooks it for the pin. Michaels on the outside. Michaels didn't get there in time. He's done it. Oh my God, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels has been done here, I tell you. Chris Jericho with that loss then moves down to a +9 after 36. Shawn Michaels, who's been conned by the referee, but he's also been stupid himself. He went to the outside of the ring, wasn't paying attention. Ospreay hit the big powerbomb and picked up the victory. And Will Ospreay has done it. Finally, for the first time in 5 years, we're going to see somebody new on the top of the SWE ranking system, and it is going to be Will Ospreay. Bret the Hitman Hart drops down to number 2. It's been a long time since Bret was at number 2. And there we go. Will Ospreay successfully retains the Intercontinental Championship once again. Wow, what an absolute run this guy is having. That might be his best defense yet, to be honest, beating those two massive, massive names. Defeated Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels at Invasion 2025. There we go. There we go, Will Ospreay. Not only still your champion, but is officially now top of the SWE all-time rankings. Finally, Bret Hart has been knocked off the top. After 5 years, Bret Hart is off the top. And Will Ospreay successfully retains his Intercontinental Championship for the 4th time. Who can take the belt away from him at this point? We'll have to find out. We're moving on to next week then. Tomorrow we start with NXT Showdown. A chance to look at the best of current day NXT and TNA. It's going to be interesting because there's a lot of new names, a lot of people we haven't used before, so a lot of people that haven't had a ton of opportunities to show what they can do, so that's going to be fun to see those in action. Tomorrow is solely going to be champions versus champions. Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams. Of course, they're both the main champions of the brands. JC Jane versus Kalani Jordan. They're both women's champions of the brands. Dark State versus the Hardy Boys are the 2 tag team champions. We've got the Speed champion El Grande Americano up against Leon Slater, the X Division champion. And we'll have the North American champion Ethan Page up against Frankie Kazarian, the TNA International champion. I'm going to love you, leave you good night. God bless. I'll be the same. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have, hit the like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.